We have major news this evening. Donald Trump is weighing a massive strike on Iran that could come as soon as potentially this week. According to CNN, this strike will be bigger if he goes through with it than any of the prior strikes at government institutions, on nuclear sites, and also on high-level security officials who were responsible for and remember, there have been mass protests in Iran for several weeks. It was horrific. And well, now after you, and we have lots of region, a strike does appear near.
Tankers were seized by Iran. Diplomatic talks are set to take place tomorrow, and U.S. military equipment continues to flood into the Middle East. Today is February 5th, 2026. Here's what you should know. I'm Trey Inks, the chief foreign correspondent for Fox News, and we're tracking a number of developments.
Here are three demands the United
So I'm not concerned about war. What I'm concerned of is miscalculations.
Iran has tested the U.S. in not one, but two.
So I went there to find out why the hell we couldn't win the war. Why aren't we winning the war against ISIS? They've been, playing games with us. So
Iran has declared complete military readiness.
Cutting a deal with this regime now is a lifeline.
Should the supreme leader in Iran be worried right now?
I would say he should be very worried.
High stakes talks up.
Breaking news.
You know that Trump knows what in Iran it's
Breaking.
We don't know how many people were killed.
From an Iranian drone flying towards a U.S. warship.
76-year-old retired vet John Rubin admitted 18 charges in connection with Stathen Lodge, where 8 children and 1 adult were taken to hospital following a suspected poisoning. It later emerged they'd been drugged, including his wife, so she didn't wake while he abused children. Rubin had been running these holiday camps for 27 years, with a children's suites laced with a sedative before bed as part of a game he called the Sweet Game. Rubin's stepson reported him to the police. They found Vaseline, baby oil and the syringes used to put the drugs inside the suites, along with a number of indecent images of children on his devices. 76-year-old retired vet John...
Markets down, smart traders see opportunity. Buy the dip on ME.
You're going to want to know about this one. Trigger warning, huge trigger warning. How is Contact known? He was orchestrating a deal along with my uncle where different men and a few women and girls would come to a variety of boats and yachts and pay to force me to do blank with them when I was 13 and pregnant. So you see right here, Donald Trump, age 70. It says how Contact is known. He participated regularly in paying money to force me to blank with him, and he was present when my uncle, my newborn child, and disposed of the body in Lake Michigan. Trump was present when her newborn child was by her uncle and thrown into Lake Michigan. Let's see how long this lasts before they pull it down. You're going to want to know about this one.
This is one of the most concerning Epstein files that I've seen so far, and hardly anybody is talking about it. Epstein was discussing social media bots with a cybersecurity expert leading up to the 2016 election. For some reason, they redacted his full name, so we only get to see his first. But in 2016, September, Epstein asks him, "What is your heat map showing for Clinton and Trump?" He responds, "We are in the process of removing data from bots and making a clean report, which I will share with you in a few hours. Overall, Trump is way more popular than Clinton." Then up at the top, he says, "Looks like Trump is back in the game. We processed 11 million tweets this week for Trump. 50.3% were positive and only 20.66% were negative, whereas Clinton is 56.05% negative and 20.03% positive. We are trying to correlate that into popular vote outcome and electoral votes received. This is very concerning because we already know there was a significant amount of social media manipulation used in the 2016 election, and it gets even worse when you zoom out. Remember, Epstein met with Peter Thiel, a top Russian diplomat, only a month before the election, and just a day after that, coincidentally enough, Epstein emailed Peter Thiel a wiki link to John Podesta's hacked emails. He was the chair of Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign. This is one of the most...
Did you guys see what someone did with the Jeffrey Epstein files? Look at this. If you go to this website, jmail.world, someone recreated what Jeffrey Epstein's email would actually look like. They imported all the files. You could break it down in between everyone on there, or read through his files. Yeah. Look, here we go. Richard.
Why didn't I close my eyes fast enough?
Pieces of the Kaaba's sacred.
We have an absolute bombshell Epstein document that I just found, in which back in 2012, Jeffrey Epstein and an unidentified person were talking about his, quote, victims, Jeffrey Epstein's. And well, the redactions by the Department of Justice conceal the true name of this individual, but everyone needs to see this, and let this serve as a brief trigger warning before I show it to you. This is an email between an unidentified individual and Jeffrey Epstein from December 12, 2012. Quote, "Do you remember the name of the gynecologist that you used to send your victims to?" Epstein responds, "New York, question mark?" The "to" is completely redacted, but presumably it's the same email that's sent down here, as it looks to be a reply to that email. First, this email should not be redacted. Second, they are openly talking about Jeffrey Epstein's victims in 2012. A New York Times reporter previously identified this Ismo email as Epstein's brother Mark, although I can't confirm or deny that just by looking at this. This is one of the most serious emails I found thus far, and I need your help spreading it everywhere, because this is subpoena worthy, easily. Whoever sent this email and in 2012 was talking about Jeffrey Epstein's victims, presumably knowing about the horrific crimes Jeffrey Epstein was taking, should be testifying under oath immediately. Spread the word and follow along for more. We have an absolute bombshell Epstein document that
The recent dump of files, I'm just kind of horrified by. And it's a kind of re-traumatization that in some ways, I mean, because, you know, the worst, the actual experiencing it is over, experiencing the abuse. But the fact that the very people who are meant to lead this country, who are meant to protect the innocent and the vulnerable and stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves, have completely re-traumatized us. It's like being raped by the Department of Justice because we are exposed, we're vulnerable.
These are all of the billionaires mentioned in the latest batch of the Epstein files. First up, Elon Musk. Emails show Elon reached out to Epstein to set up a visit to Epstein's private island and asked which day or night will be the craziest party on your island. He also said girls for the win, but Elon has long denied he ever visited Epstein Island, so these new emails throw that into question. Next up, Sir Richard Branson. We already knew that Epstein visited Branson's private Caribbean island, but now there's a new questionable exchange following that visit, where Branson says it was really nice seeing you yesterday. Anytime you're in the area, would love to see you as long as you bring your harem. Spokesperson for Branson's Virgin Group quickly made a statement saying that when Branson said harem, he was referring to the adult members on Epstein's team. And then we have Bill Gates. New emails show a crazy allegation coming from Epstein himself, who said that Gates got STDs from Russian escorts and then asked Epstein for help getting antibiotics he could secretly slip to his wife Melinda without her knowing. We have a video on that full story on our page if you want to learn more. Next, we have Steve Tisch, who owns the Giants, and the new files show that Epstein scouted women for him. Like in one email, Epstein offered to set him up with a Russian, and Steve Tisch replied, "Is she fun?" In another, Epstein offered a woman from Tahiti, and Steve Tisch asked if she's a working girl, to which Epstein said never. Next, we have Peter Thiel, who co-founded Pal.
The consequences from the latest Epstein files have officially...
Donald Trump is now trying to make an excuse for posting this racist meme. The White House is now telling CNN's Elena Trine that a staffer at the White House made the post. The post was made at 11:30 last night. Do you really believe a White House staffer made it? Donald Trump is now trying to make an excuse for posting.
I submit to you today that
You talked about the weapon, the discombobulator. What is that?
Discombobulator. Well, I'm not allowed to talk about it.
What does it do?
Let me just tell you, you know what it does? None of their equipment works. That's what it does. Everything was it was my name. I'm very proud of the name. Everything was discombobulated. It was, practically a shot wasn't, they were ready.
Right.
And when we came,
I mean,
They couldn't do anything.
you saw this in the video. You could tell.
Tom, it discombobulated everything.
Nothing worked, even including humans.
Well, let's
knocks
put it
the
this
humans
way.
out.
We lost no equipment in a very strong, and they're good fighters, great fighters. In a very bad environment, it was a military base, the biggest in South America. Because the house was in a base in in a very, very tough environment, we lost no men and we lost no equipment.
The discombobulator just knocked everything.
Well, it did something.
It did something. Did Delcy Rodriguez work with you guys before that raid?
Moderates, I'm Jessica Tarlov.
And I'm Aaron Parnas.
In today's episode, we're discussing whether Trump is actually turning on his shadow president.
A reporter just called out Donald Trump to his face for lying about his poll numbers, and Donald Trump actually backed down. Now, this was last night during an interview on NBC News, where Donald Trump was going through his usual litany of lies until he finally got around to his poll numbers, and this exchange happened.
He's starting to get.
So when it comes to Trump, do you dislike his policies or him as a person or both?
Donald Trump just suffered a major miscalculation as the MAGA plan to pin the Epstein files on Bill Clinton has completely backfired. Donald Trump admitted to NBC News.
So millions of Americans are moving to China after this. I'm practicing.
Donald Trump actually posted this online on his social media page.
We have some news right now. Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, has confirmed that if Donald Trump wins his $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS, that money is coming from you, the American taxpayer. He was testifying on Capitol Hill today, where he was questioned by Arizona Senator Ruben Gallego, who asked, where is that money coming from?
Trump is now pushing to have our votes nationalized. And what that means is he wants, instead of the states taking...
You're going to want to know about this one.
I can't believe how well this product is selling.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Bruce Lee. Good.
Why does Germany still rely so much on manual labor to build roads? We're talking about hot asphalt that comes out at over 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Many workers don't even wear heavy protective gear. 1 second of distraction, and you can get seriously burned. So what's the deal? Is German road build...
Sorry, Bohong. Sorry, Bohong. I will clean your dress and I love you so much. Love you. And I will give you 5 million views.
So what was his motivation?
I don't know. I'm still trying to get.
Okay, but who's from?
គ្រប់យ៉ាងនេះមកដែលគាត់មើលវីដេអូខ្ញុំពីមុនណាប្រហែលជាអាចចំណាំខ្ញុំបានដោយសំឡេងហើយនឹងពេល
It bothers me that somebody's going after Bill Clinton. See, I like Bill Clinton. I still like Bill Clinton.
What do you like about him?
I liked his behavior toward me. I thought he got me, he understood me. It bothers me.
How much do you remember about the very first ritual that you witnessed?
There was a victim named...
This Oxford study couple is charged for murder and the alleged dismemberment of her Asian father in San Francisco. Let's go ahead and talk.
Earlier tonight, President... That's me running towards...
Seeing so many Chinese people in Mexico, it's crazy. It's being infiltrated by the Chinese.
What the fuck?
Bro, what?
You should see England, bro.
England same?
England's been infiltrated by fucking... I don't know what is that country? Neons.
What the? Seeing so many Chinese people in Mexico, it's crazy. It's being infiltrated by the Chinese.
What the fuck?
Bro, what?
You should see England, bro.
England same?
England's been infiltrated by fucking... I don't know what is that country? Neons.
What the? Seeing so many Chinese people in Mexico, it's crazy. It's being infiltrated.
How rich is Neon? 16, before the wild streaming era, and how rich is Neon?
Seeing so many Chinese...
Excuse me? I have a question. If you could only choose one boba order...
យកស្រីអាយុឡើងតាណាកូនអត់ចេះខ្មាស់គេហើយអត់ចេះបាត់កូននេះកូនបាក់ស្អាតហើយប្រាប់ស្រីហ្នឹងថា ឲ្យនៅមួយប្រពន្ធមិនបើបងអត់ឆ្លាញ់ផងហ្នឹងអត់ឆ្លាញ់មិនឈួតទេអត់ឆ្លាញ់កូនហ្នឹង2 3អញ្ចឹងនេះអត់ឆ្លាញ់នៅគ្នាប្រើហើយវាអត់ឆ្លាញ់ហ្នឹងគឺនិយាយត្រូវហើយព្រោះអីជ្រូកឆែកនៅគ្នា3 10ឆ្នាំឯងឆ្អែតឆ្អន់នេះហ្នឹងបានឯងនៅឆ្លាញ់ទៀត
How did you meet?
កប់រៃបងប្អូនកប់រៃ
And we have an email from Jeffrey Epstein himself saying, yes, Virginia Giuffre was on my plane, and yes, she had a picture taken with Andrew. I just think people are going to come to the conclusion that
what is everyone believing Jeffrey Epstein
but
now?
that you've provided no evidence to the contrary.
Well, but is everybody believing Jeffrey Epstein as a Bible verse now?
I think people are believing Virginia Giuffre.
Really? What? Because she's dead?
Not because she's dead, because it is overwhelmingly likely the case that this is a real photo. He really was there. He really did have her arm round her waist. And he's
Okay,
not
I think what I would love you to do another time is to try and recreate that photo and see what the arm does, because that I can't show it because it's very private, but Andrew recreated that pose, and the arm, it's
What do you mean he
impossible.
recreated that pose?
Standing, and
He did a mock-up of it.
yeah.
When?
And the hand, it doesn't work. No one's seen it. This is a private thing. But it's impossible. Like, you would have to have Inspector Gadget arms to
Put your arm around the waist of a
But look how it is. Do we have a photo
young
of it?
woman.
The way he's standing. It's impossible, Tom.
And we have an email from Jeffrey Epstein himself saying, yes, Virginia Giuffre was on my plane.
After the new Epstein files were released.
So President Trump just
We have major.
So President Trump just reposted a video on social media depicting the Obamas as apes. And honestly, we struggled here in our newsroom. We had a long debate about whether
We have major Epstein files developments this afternoon. More Trump administration officials have been caught inside the Epstein. Is not whether or not they're in the files, but rather which administration officials are not in the files. At the same time, by the way, members of Congress next week, according to NBC News, will be able to see the unredacted Epstein files. We'll talk about that in a second. CNN this afternoon has confirmed that Secretary of the Navy John Phelan is named on a flight manifest that was found inside the Epstein files. He flew on Epstein's plane in 2006 from. That was the only interaction that.
Wait, are you Korean? No, Uncle Roger from Malaysia.
Oh!
Chinese Malaysia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where from?
Where?
Taiwan.
Taiwan?
Yeah.
Not
Taiwan.
a real country. Not a real country. I hope one day you rejoin
Not a
the
real
motherland.
country?
One China. One China.
Breaking news, members of Congress will be able to view the unredacted Epstein. Breaking news, members of Congress will be able to view the unredacted Epstein files next week, according to a letter that NBC News obtained. This is the unredacted version of the DOJ's Epstein files, and it's going to happen on Monday morning, and they're going to have to be there in person, and they will be able to review the material on computers, but they were not able to review the physical documents, and they also have to give DOJ 24 hours notice. Not only that, but they cannot bring in any electronic devices. And the review will be only of the 3 million files currently available to the public, not the extensive trove of more than 6 million documents in total possession. So that's sort of interesting that they're not going to give them the whole thing. With that said, I mean, there's bound to be some stuff that they've redacted that I think that the members of Congress are going to need to look for. So hopefully they'll come prepared and be able to get us some info. This comes after Democrats on the Judiciary Committee sent.
ចង់និយាយថាស្រុកណាក៏ដោយមែនប្រទេសណាក៏ដោយមែនឲ្យថ្ងៃ Friday night គឺថាស្ទះទៅមុខអត់រួចហ្មងចង់និយាយថា
You got on the Trilateral Commission and had the first.
Gabriela Rico Jimenez. She was a Mexican model and disappeared back in 2009. Of course, yet another person disappearing. She was filmed outside of a luxury hotel screaming about how they were eating people. Everyone thought she was crazy. Of course, the woman is crazy, not to be believed. Don't believe the woman.
នេះគឺជាការអាប់ដេតថ្មីរបស់ YouTube ដែលកំពុងតែចេញយុទ្ធនាការមួយនៅក្នុងការ ban ឬមួយក៏ block ទៅលើ third party browser ដែលអាចឲ្យអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាហ្នឹងបើកស្ដាប់ចម្រៀងបានដោយមិនចាំបាច់ Pay ជាមួយ YouTube Premium.
Uh-oh, more bad news for Trump and Republicans. Guys, MAGA is panicked. Trump is panicked. The Republican Party is...
1 year ago, I bought a 5th Division professional. We captured together, under President Trump's leadership, 6 of the FBI's most wanted fugitives in 1 calendar year. To put that...
And don't forget,
ចានៅក្នុងសិក្ខាវិនិយោគ
Carlos Alcaraz from Spain. So Trump came out a few... Carolyn Levitt attempted...
ក្នុងរូបនិយមបង្ហាញហ្នឹងគាត់ចោទថាខ្ញុំហ្នឹងនឹងច្បាស់ជាមិនដើរកន្លងខុសពីលោកមុំអាសានីឬក៏លោកសូណារ៉ូដែលចេញពីបកត្រឡប់ទៅកាន់បកប្រជាជនវិញណាខ្ញុំ
So looking at Trump's...
There were so many Epstein Files connections to Justin Bieber's Yummy video. First, let's talk about how he promoted...
ចង់ស្អាតបែបនេះ
Donald Trump should be asked to step down immediately.
It's not like our casino, kids only.
និយាយតាមត្រង់រឿងនេះខ្ញុំទើបតែយកមកពី Dylan Page មកដែរខ្ញុំទើបតែឃើញនេះមន្ទីរពេទ្យនៅបារាំងមួយបានរកឃើញការសំណល់គ្រាប់ផ្លោមមួយដែលសល់មកពីសង្គ្រាមលោកលើកទី1គេបានរកឃើញគ្រាប់ហ្នឹង
បញ្ជាក់វីដេអូនេះខ្ញុំអត់បាននិយាយតាក់ទងរឿងដែលគេកំពុងតែប្រពន្ធចង់ប្រពន្ធដើមអីទេខ្ញុំនិយាយរឿងសុភមង្គលនៃគ្រួសារណាជាទូទៅនៅលើបណ្ដាខ្ញុំ
ហើយនេះបងធ្វើឲ្យអូនញ៉ាំកាហ្វេមកធ្វើឲ្យអូនញ៉ាំកាហ្វេញ៉ាំកាហ្វេញ៉ាំកាហ្វេញ៉ាំញ៉ាំនេះកាហ្វេញ៉ាំកាហ្វេញ៉ាំញ៉ាំនេះញ៉ាំតិចតិចមកនេះសែតបងបាយទៅនោះកាត់តមុខតិចកាកាហ្វេឆ្ងាញ់កាហ្វេឆ្ងាញ់ចុះអូនក៏ឆ្ងាញ់ដែរអូនក៏ស្អាតហើយនេះក៏ផ្លូវអូនណាឡើងដូចផ្លូវកែបបងឡើងណៃលោចង់ចាក់ទៀតផ្លូវធំខ្លាំងណាស់នេះលោចង់ចាក់ប៉ុណ្្នឹងធំនេះបងមកផ្លូវអូនឡើងធំមិននិយាយថាខ្លួនឯងធំតែយ៉ាងជន់ទៅចាក់អូមែនតែមកពីផ្លូវអូនធំមែនក្បាលពោះអូនរៀងទូចៃដៃអូនរៀងទូចៃ
អាមេរិកបើកការស៊ើបអង្កេតបន្ទាន់សង្ស័យសមាគមកសិកម្មយុវជនតែមិនកន់จริงๆอะผมว่าผมก็នារីរូបស្រស់វ័យក្មេងនេះនៅហ៊ានផ្ញើរូបភាពនិងវីដេអូជាមួយប្តីគេទៅបញ្ឈឺប្រពន្ធគេទៀតក្រោយទូការវែងញែករឿងលោកវិជ្ជបណ្ឌិតមិន
This is vile even for Donald Trump.
What country has
Last week
She's an American hero.
គឺជាវិធីធ្វើបង្អែមរបស់ជប៉ុន
ថ្ងៃនេះដែរខ្ញុំ
to disrupt community.
A teenager did graffiti.
បើសួរថាមកហូបអីដែលឆ្ងាញ់
អូខេបងប្អូនស្ដីខ្ញុំពេកត្រូវតែថាខ្ញុំនិយាយស្ដាប់គ្នាអត់បានទេបាក់ស្ដាប់ហើយបងប្រុសខ្ញុំគាត់ថាបងស្ដាប់វីដេអូនេះរាល់ដងត្រូវទៅឡើងសលេង
Elephants actually have a so-called fifth leg. Besides being used for peeing, they can even use it to scratch themselves. And when their stiff legs still can't reach an itchy spot on the belly, smart elephants will grab a stick or a piece of wood and use it as a tool to help. Many elephants have learned this little trick, showing just how clever they really are, even though their feet look flat and rock.
រកស៊ីអីក៏ដោយត្រូវតែចេះខ្លួនឯងបើខ្លួនឯងអត់ចេះទេកុំតន់រកអីព្រោះថាអត់សុវត្ថិភាពទេបងប្អូននៅឲ្យកុំអាងថាបងប្អូនជួយអ្នកនេះជួយអ្នកនោះជួយអត់កាត់បងគេគ្រប់គ្នា
Okay, so
បងប្អូននេះមិនដឹងអត់ថាចង់ប្រាប់បងប្អូនថាកុំយកខ្ញុំទៅប្រៀបធៀបជាមួយនឹងអ្នកចោះចូលថ្មីនេះ
Wow, Hillary Clinton is demanding that her and her husband, former President Bill Clinton, testify to...
So you are fully aware that the president is suing your...
Donald Trump, you are worse than
នេះគឺជាទង្វើដែលខោកទាបបំផុតដែលមនុស្សធំមួយចំនួនធ្វើទៅលើកុមារខ្ញុំឃើញហើយខ្ញុំក្តៅមែនតើប្រឡាក់បួយហ្មងអ្នកនរគ្នាដោយសារអីបើកើតឡើងលើមនុស្សធំយើងអាចនិយាយយើងអាចរកអ្នកជួយបានតែកូនក្មេងគ្នាអត់ដឹងទេក្មេងខ្លះអត់ចេះនិយាយអត់ដឹងប្រាប់ណាគេទេបាទអ្នកនរគ្នាមានកូនទូយ៉ាងមើលវីដេអូខ្ញុំឲ្យដល់ចប់ខ្ញុំបង្ហាញឯកសារខ្ញុំបង្ហាញព័ត៌មានជូនដល់បងប្អូនឲ្យអ្នកនរគ្នាបានយល់ឲ្យច្បាស់តែមុននឹងចាប់ផ្ដើមខ្ញុំឆ្លើយសំណួរពួកអាមួយចំនួនដែលគាំទ្រទង្វើប្រភេទហ្នឹងនេះទង្វើនេះវាគាំទ្រជាពិសេសម្នាក់ស្រីនេះខ្លួនជាស្រីឯងនិយាយថាអាហ្នឹងវាជារឿងធម្មតាពូគេសោះ ណែខ្ញុំសួរឯងនៅផ្ទះឯងហ្នឹងពូឯងអ៊ំឯងឪពុកឯងហ្នឹងចាប់ដោះឯងចាប់ប្រដាប់ភេទឯងលេងជារឿងធម្មតាបង្ហាញពីការស្រឡាញ់មែនទី2ទៅសម្ដីម្នាក់ស្រីនឹងទៀតក្មេងប្រុសសោះក្មេងប្រុសក៏ដោយក៏ទទួលការបៀតបៀនដូចជាក្មេងស្រីដែរណាបើថាល្ងងណាមកមើល UNICEF ផុសណាគេផុសថាអ្វីទៅគឺជាការប៉ះពាល់មិនសមរម្យការប៉ះពាល់មិនសមរម្យទៅលើស្រស់ណាស់ចាស់ថ្លៃល្បីពេទ្យដែរតែពេទ្យថ្មិញ
គេល្បីពេទ្យគេល្បីទៅបងមិនដឹងអត់ដែរចាប់អារម្មណ៍បង
សូមអត់យល់អ្នកដែលយករឿង sexual harassment non consensual sex ទៅធ្វើជាជោគខ្ញុំចង់និយាយថាមិនហើយមានគេ support ទៀតចង់និយាយចឹងហើយខ្ញុំអត់យល់តើពេលវេលាកាន់តែទៅមុខទៅមនុស្សយើងឡើងមានមែនសូមអត់យល់អ្នកដែលយករឿង sexual harassment non consensual sex ទៅធ្វើជាជោគ
នេះបកពុកមាត់មកទំហឹងខ្លះដាច់ខ្លះក៏ដោយទាំងគាត់
ខ្ញុំអត់ដឹងមានតែខ្ញុំក៏អីរបៀបថាឲ្យរបៀបចាស់អ៊ំមួយចំនួនឬក៏អ៊ីមួយចំនួនអញ្ចឹងណាគាត់គិតរឿងលុយមកយល់គាត់សួរយើងថាយើងហ៊ានជំនាញអីអញ្ចឹងទៅដល់យើងប្រាប់ទៅគាត់ថាអូនឯងបកកែអញ្ចឹងហ៊ានប៉ែទៅ
So a common comment
So penis injections are apparently a thing here at the Winter Olympics in Milan. Last month there was a
Imagine getting a cold.
He almost reached 100. What if we pour 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit molten iron on 20,000 fire ants? Let's find out.
រឿងមួយ about fasting ណាអ្នកគ្នាខ្ញុំឃើញអត់សូវមានណាគេនិយាយសោះរាប់ពេល fasting គឺអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាស្អុយមាត់ខ្លាំងណាស់ហើយមួយទៀតគឺ constipation.
Did you guys see that thing yesterday where
Oh my god, remember that Wayfair conspiracy from a few
ខ្ញុំសូមផ្ដាំទៅបងប្អូនស្រីៗដែលគាត់មានអាយុចាប់ពី30ឆ្នាំឡើងទៅឬក៏ជិតដល់30ឆ្នាំខ្ញុំចង់ប្រាប់បងប្អូនថាចាបើសិនជាបងប្អូនអត់ទាន់ច្បាស់ថាមានជីវិតគូនិងមានកសាងគ្រួសារខ្លួនឯងនឹងដើម្បីអ្វីទេខ្ញុំលើកទឹកចិត្តឲ្យបងប្អូនថាកុំប្រញាប់កុំត្រូវការបង្ខំខ្លួនឯងដោយសារតែតួលេខនៃអាយុនឹងឲ្យបងប្អូនខ្លួនឯងត្រូវតែឈានទៅដល់ចំណុចមួយរៀបការទាំងដែលបងប្អូនអត់បានស្រឡាញ់គ្នាច្បាស់លាស់ឬក៏រៀបការទាំងដែលបងប្អូនអត់មានគោលដៅចង់កសាងជីវិតជាមួយគ្នាទៅថ្ងៃអនាគតបែបណាពីព្រោះទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងគឺវាជាចំណុចមួយសំខាន់មែនតើ
You absolutely Elon Musk.
ខ្ញុំមកតែមកថា
I just listened to
suppose he
មនុស្សប្រុសរៀនសូត្រចេះដឹងប៉ុណ្ណឹងដែរហេតុអីមានស្រីគាត់សួរអញ្ចឹងទេខ្ញុំធ្លាប់និយាយឲ្យតាអារឿងមានស្រីរឿងសាហាយស្មន់រឿងផាត់ក្បត់វាអត់ពាក់ព័ន្ធរឿងចំណេះដឹងទេពេលខ្លះមានចំណេះដឹងកាន់តែខ្ពស់ឬមួយក៏មានចំណេះដឹងច្រើនហ្នឹងមានស្រីសាហាវជាងអត់ទាន់ចេះទៀត
ឆ្ងល់ម៉ែគេដឹងថាកូនធ្វើរឿងអញ្ចឹងបាញ់បាក់គ្រួសារគេអញ្ចឹងជួយជ្រុំជួយឆែកជួយ support គេ
លើស្រឡាញ់ចាបាត់និយាយទៅពិភពលោកនៅពេលនេះតើយើងចឹងទៅក្រៅទៅអធម្មជាតិខ្លះ
AI is advancing so fast that these days it's hard to tell what's real versus what's not. This was created using Luma AI. It's a tool that can not only create
Trời ơi, con này
cho lên nè đách mà khai
thằng muốn đang đi từng
đách mà khai khai sao thọt ban mỏng này ơi anh chụp đây cho bố máy khai ngọc đi đây tủ sẵn tay cả lại ao đó cứ ao mỏ ấy
Cảm ơi
bay nhung cái lầu chàng trang ấy thì tới trên
là sao mánh cái vậy tham một đôi con nâng nó thì
đây ôn một đức tham ai
là sao mánh cái vậy
đây
mớ ý số ôn hiện nó là na ôn thèm ý mớ
Nice you
with you chẳng là ta hai em ma mui cho mày làm số em ma má nhóm cùng họ lột tam ký các mũi không biết nè nam mũi để đăng ngầm bị dướng chiêng dướng luôn ai nữa thì không vô vào đây thế vô vào đây thế này miền con đừng nã mơ con nã mơ nhóm
vợ chồng ở chỉ vật miền cái đấy sốc
vậy tha mà đây thị trường lạnh cô nặng nòng cô là bởi cô miền cru xa lõ và cô đã cần đồng thoa này ná có trong ai cô miền ở đây miền mọc mọt miền kia thì vô trong ai cô ở ban công cao chẳng có chia sẻ cái đấy sống có học cùng mà đây cái sự nghiệp ở cùng mà đây khácឬcó thị trường mà đây khác